Hi guys, and welcome to Positively Kimmie. I am Kimmie. If you are new here, welcome. This is a safe space. And if you're one of my returning subscribers and my besties, hi guys, how are you? I hope you all are having an amazing day. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I asked you if you had anything that you wanted to know about me, and I am answering those now. You came up with some really good questions. So the first one was, am I married? And I used to be married, and about 100 years ago we got a divorce, and we're very, very good friends. I see him all the time. As a matter of fact, he's my caretaker. I'll explain more about that in a little bit. We have 2 children together, and my oldest is 31, married to a lovely, lovely, beautiful daughter-in-law, and they have my grandchild, who will be a year this week. I can't believe how fast time has gone by. And the second one, my younger child, is very successful, and he will be 30 in September. I can't believe I have 2 kids over the age of 30 almost. This is like mind-blowing. And I will be 57 in October. You will never see me put my grandson's name out there or his photo or anything about my children because they have asked me not to, and I completely respect that. So just know my grandson has started walking. It is the cutest thing. Excuse me. And I love him to pieces. So that's that. Okay. Someone wants to know what I do for a living. Right now, I am on disability. And the reason for that is, well, I'll get into that in a minute. But before that, I did medical billing. And my job specifically was to call insurance companies when you did not get approved for something, such as anesthesia for surgery, which happened a lot, believe it or not, or your bill was too high, or they didn't pay a service that you desperately needed. I would be the one to call up and fight on your behalf, and I absolutely love that because I hate people being taken advantage of, especially by an insurance company. That just blows my mind. So just know that I was fighting for you guys, and I absolutely loved what I did. It was just amazing, and I really do miss it. So for 20 years, I was a medical biller. Okay, now what happened to me personally, someone wanted to know, that made me want to inspire others and to never give up and to be positive. Excuse me. I have always had health issues. When I was a child, I had epilepsy. Thankfully, I grew out of that when I was 14. I had it from 9 months old to about 14. And I always felt a little different. And then when I was 34, ready to turn 35 in 2002, I discovered that I had a pancreatic tumor in the head of my pancreas. They had to do what was called Whipple surgery, and it's an 8-hour surgery, and they just take everything and they move it around, and they take a lot of things out, like your gallbladder, your appendix, and it was debilitating. I learned a lot about medical terminology, which is how I got into the medical field, and it was just rough. It was rough. And they told me, had I not come in when I did, I originally woke up with a backache, and I thought I slept wrong. And then the next day, it felt like someone put a pole from my stomach to my back. And when I told my mom, she's like, oh, it sounds like it's your gallbladder. Go up to the ER and have them do an x-ray. They did an x-ray, they did a CAT scan, and they found this tumor. So they had to remove it. And they said within 6 months, if I hadn't been there, I would have been making final arrangements. At the time, my oldest was 8 and my youngest was 6. So it was very humbling when you're faced with your mortality when your children are so young. So that was one of the things that led me to believe, period, that there was more. And I've always been very spiritual. Not necessarily religious, but definitely spiritual. And I know that there was more at work than just my doctors. And I prayed a lot. And thankfully, it's been 20 years. And I'm still fighting with my pancreas. It still does not like me. which is why I ended up in the hospital with these rounds of things. I get a lot of small bowel obstructions because of the way the strictures are and the way they put everything back together. And I get a lot of pancreatitis. The most common cause is alcohol. Mine is for a medical issue. And it's still, every day lets me know, by the way, I'm still here. You're still not over me. It took a long time to get back to baseline. I don't think I'm still at baseline. I still get sick every single day. And that also contributed to how I lived my life and how I see blessings in everything and how I wanted to be a kind person. But it wasn't until about a year and a half ago where something major kind of shifted in my life. There was an event and a personal event, and all of a sudden I realized, there's got to be more. There's got to be more than this. And I realized when I saw my sister doing affirmations and I started doing therapy, seriously doing therapy, where I actually told the truth to the therapist, that I realized my life is all about struggles, but it's also all about perspective. Everything is about how you see things, and you can choose to see something as a negative or you can see it as a positive. So yes, I went through what I went through with my health issues, and I'm still continuing to go through with my health issues, but I'm still here. And that in itself is a blessing. So everything is, depending on how you look at it, is how you are going to approach it or approach someone. So if somebody is very negative, you can approach it looking at what is making them so negative. And it's not your job to fix them, but it's your job to figure out how to respond to them that is going to be the best for you. And that has made the world of difference in my life. Also, my therapist has taught me it is a bad day, not a bad life. And that has gotten me through a lot, because in my family, we don't get a common cold. We get like congestive heart failure in my family. We get diabetes in my family. We get, all sorts of issues. And so you can have spouts where it's a bad day. You wake up the next day, it's still not a good day. The next day, but eventually you're going to have a great day. And you have to be positive, and your outlook will determine the type of day you have. So if you wake up every day with gratitude in your heart and being thankful for what you have instead of focusing on the negative and what you don't have, that makes all the difference in the world. And I have a vision board. I have to update it to 2023. I haven't done that yet. I write down in a journal my affirmations, because in the beginning I didn't think there was much good about me, and the only thing I could come up with is that I was kind. Now that I have like 3 pages of things that I believe about myself to be true. I am kind. I am honest. I am trustworthy. I am matter. I am valuable. I am worthy. I am worthwhile. I am loved. I am blessed. I mean, that's the way I start my day every day, saying that mantra. I am guided, loved, and protected by God every day, and I listen to Steve Harvey, and it's like, if you don't ask for something, you have not, because you have asked not. So I ask for certain things, that I manifest those things to happen. If you put it out into the universe, it will come back to you. Also, if you put bad into the universe, I believe it will come back to you. So always do something with a pure heart. And I'm not saying I am above reproach, or I don't sin, or I'm the best version of myself every day, because I am not, but I try to be. And I always try to come from a place of love and understanding. And the biggest lesson I've learned is to be kinder to myself, because I put everybody else first for so long. And you have to be kinder to yourself. It's called self-love. And that is not being selfish. And I had heard someone say that you have to have your cup overflowing, so that The cup, when it's full, is yours. That's what you get to keep. You get to keep all that value. You get to keep all those good things about yourself. Anything that's overflowing is for everybody else. That's not selfish. That's being self-loved, because you can't be the best version of yourself if you constantly give to other people. So that's a long way of me saying, that's what made me decide I wanted to be positive and share that positivity with other people, because I honestly believe these things that I'm telling you. I know they work. I know my affirmations work. I know manifesting works. And I know if you come from a good place, good things will happen to you. So I hope that answered that question in a not so long-winded way. I knew it was going to be a long one. I apologize for that. The next question, was why do I end every single post with 3 purple hearts? Okay, the number 3 happens to be a very spiritual number, and it stands for harmony, wisdom, and understanding, or past, present, and future. The purple is my way of acknowledging the pancreatic tumor that I had. It's for pancreatic cancer, and that's why I end every post with that, because I wish for you harmony, understanding, the past, present, and future. And I just think 3 is the most spiritual number that you can have, and the purple hearts is my way of acknowledging my pancreatic cancer. This bout in the hospital left me with a lot of uncertainty. I had a small bowel obstruction in the end of January. I had pancreatitis in the beginning of February, and still ended up with pancreatitis, a bad bout of it actually this last time. And because of that, they found a mass in my pancreas, and they can't get to it because when they did the Whipple surgery, my anatomy happens to be very different than, let's say, your anatomy might be, and they can't get to it. Originally, they thought they were going to do a surgical endoscopy and put a stent in my pancreas to open up the narrowing at the tail end that is left. They cannot do that, so now they are planning on having a I'm going to say disciplinary, but it's not disciplinary, I forgot the word of it, meeting with all these other doctors and specialties of their field. There will be a general surgeon, the chief of surgery, there will be a pancreatic surgeon, there will be a GI surgeon, and about 2 other surgeons that will be in the operating room with me, provided they don't feel it's too dangerous to do. And they will have to remove the mass, remove the scar tissue, there are some lesions, and then remove some more of my pancreas, and then put a stent in to widen it, so that this way, hopefully, when I eat, it doesn't get stuck at that stricture and can pass through, and I won't get sick so much. So I hope that answered some of your questions. I'm sorry this was a little long, but be kind to yourself. That is the most important lesson I can tell you. And always, always be happy, be healthy, be blessed, be positively you, because there's nobody else quite like you. And I am so incredibly glad for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye, guys. Mwah.